Joseph was 17 years old, a young man moving between childhood and destiny. He worked in the fields with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, his father's other wives, and what he saw there he reported back to his father. Not stories, not exaggeration, but the truth. And truth in a divided house can feel like betrayal. His father Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age, the son of Rachel, the woman he loved deeply. This love was not hidden. It was visible, loud, undeniable. He made Joseph a long robe, a coat of many colors, a garment that reached his wrists and ankles. Not the clothing of a laborer, but of someone set apart. And his brothers understood what it meant. It meant Joseph was different. It meant Joseph was favored. It meant they were not. And because of this, they hated him. Not quietly, not secretly. They could not even speak peaceably to him. Imagine living in a house where your presence silences the room. Then Joseph dreamed. He dreamed they were binding sheaves in the field, and suddenly his sheaf rose and stood upright, while their sheaves gathered around and bowed down to it. He told his brothers, not with pride, but with wonder. But they heard something else. They heard power. They heard control. They heard a future they refused to accept. "Will you indeed reign over us?" they said, and they hated him even more. Then he dreamed again. This time the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed down to him. He told his father and his brothers, and his father rebuked him, asking if he and his mother and his brothers would indeed bow to him. But even in that rebuke, something deeper remained. His father kept the matter in his heart. The brothers did not. Their jealousy grew. It hardened. It became something darker than anger. It became intention. Time passed, and his brothers went to pasture their father's flock in Shechem, a place already marked by their past violence. Israel grew concerned and sent Joseph to check on them and the flocks. Joseph obeyed without hesitation. He left from the valley of Hebron and went to Shechem. But when he arrived, they were not there. He wandered in the field, searching alone, until a certain man found him and asked what he was seeking. And Joseph said, "I am seeking my brothers, not the flock, not the task, his brothers." The man told him they had moved on to Dothan. And Joseph went after them. From a distance they saw him coming. Before he reached them, before he spoke, they recognized him by his robe. And they said to one another, "Here comes this dreamer." In that moment they did not see a brother. They saw a threat, and they began to plan. They said, "Come now, let us kill him and throw him into a pit, and we will say that a wild beast has devoured him. Then we shall see what will become of his dreams." But Reuben, the eldest, heard it, and he tried to rescue him, not by confronting them directly, but by redirecting them. He said, "Let us not take his life. Shed no blood. Throw him into this pit here in the wilderness, but do not lay a hand on him." His plan was to return later and bring Joseph back safely to their father. So when Joseph came to them, they did not greet him. They did not speak. They immediately stripped him of his robe, the coat of many colors that was on him. The symbol of favor was the first thing to go. Then they took him and threw him into a pit. It was empty. There was no water in it. No escape, no comfort, only silence and the sound of his own voice echoing back at him. And then they sat down to eat. While Joseph cried out from the pit, they continued with their meal, calm, unmoved, as if nothing had happened. Then they lifted their eyes and saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead, their camels carrying spices, balm and myrrh on their way down to Egypt. And Judah spoke, "What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother, our own flesh." And his brothers listened. They drew Joseph up from the pit, not to save him, but to sell him. For 20 pieces of silver they handed him over, and Joseph was carried away into Egypt. Reuben returned to the pit, and when he saw that Joseph was not there, he tore his clothes. He returned to his brothers and said, "The boy is gone, and I, where shall I go?" Then they took Joseph's robe, slaughtered a goat, and dipped the robe in the blood. They sent it to their father and said, "This we have found. Please identify whether it is your son's robe or not." And he recognized it. "It is my son's robe. A fierce animal has devoured him. Joseph is without doubt torn to pieces." Jacob tore his garments and put sackcloth on his waist, and mourned for his son many days. All his sons and daughters rose to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. He said, "I shall go down to the grave to my son, mourning." And so his father wept for him. But Joseph was not dead. He was sold in Egypt to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard. What they meant for evil had already begun its journey toward something greater, and the dreams they tried to destroy had only just begun.